The Stoic Path to Inner Peace. In a world filled with distractions, expectations, and external pressures, achieving inner peace can feel like an impossible task. Yet, the ancient Stoics, philosophers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, mastered the art of tranquility by eliminating unnecessary chaos from their lives. Their wisdom, though written thousands of years ago, holds profound insights for us today. What if I told you that achieving true peace doesn't require adding more things to your life, but eliminating what no longer serves you? The Stoics understood that the key to a meaningful life was not in accumulating more wealth, success, or possessions. Instead, it was about clearing away the clutter of the mind, the emotions, and the habits that keep us from our true purpose. Stoicism teaches us that external circumstances are beyond our control, but our response to those circumstances is where true power lies. So, let's begin our journey into Stoic wisdom with the first thing you need to eliminate: the mask you wear to satisfy others. 1. The mask you wear for approval. It's easy to fall into the trap of pretending to be someone you're not, all in the name of fitting in. This mask might take on different forms: the way we speak, the persona we present to the world, the smile we put on when we feel anything but happy. Over time, this mask becomes heavy. It's exhausting to maintain. Yet we do it because we fear rejection or judgment. But here's the truth. When we wear a mask, we are not living authentically. We are living for others, for their approval, and that never leads to true fulfillment. Stoicism encourages us to embrace our true selves, even if it means losing the approval of others. After all, those who are drawn to the mask are not truly connecting with who we are. They are connecting with the illusion we've created. By dropping this mask, we open the door to genuine relationships and a more peaceful existence. It's not easy, but it is liberating. When we stop pretending, we allow ourselves to be seen, heard, and understood for who we truly are. And that is where real peace begins. 2. The illusion of tomorrow. How many times have you promised yourself that you'll start something new tomorrow? Whether it's a healthier lifestyle, a new project, or simply the decision to live more mindfully, we've all fallen into the trap of waiting for the perfect moment. Stoicism teaches us that there is no tomorrow. There is only today, the present moment, which is the only one we truly control. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Tomorrow is never guaranteed, and waiting for it to begin your transformation is a form of procrastination that keeps you stuck in a cycle of inaction. The time to act is now. Begin with small, imperfect steps. Stoics didn't wait for the perfect moment to practice virtue or live with intention. They made today count. By taking action, even when we feel uncertain or unprepared, we build momentum and move closer to becoming the person we are meant to be. Part 2. Releasing the past and cultivating a new mindset. 3. The weight of the past. We all carry memories, some painful, some embarrassing, that weigh on us. These past experiences can sometimes define who we are, shaping our present thoughts and actions. But Stoicism teaches us that we are not our past. We are the sum of our actions and decisions in the present. The Stoics believed in the power of forgiveness and letting go. When we hold on to past wounds, whether it's an old argument, a past mistake, or a failure, we allow them to dictate our present mindset. This weight prevents us from moving forward. Seneca wisely said, "Time heals what reason cannot." If you hold on to the past, you allow it to steal the present and hinder your future. Letting go of old grudges, mistakes, and guilt allows you to embrace the present moment and move toward a more meaningful life. 4. The emotional drain of constant people-pleasing. Have you ever caught yourself doing things for others, even when it drains you emotionally? Whether it's agreeing to something you don't want to do, or compromising your values just to avoid conflict, people-pleasing is a habit that leads to resentment and exhaustion. Stoicism calls us to stop living for others' approval. Instead, we should focus on living in alignment with our own values, no matter how others might react. Real love and respect come when we live authentically, without the constant need for validation from external sources. 5. The fear of change and growth. Change is inevitable, yet many of us resist it because we fear the unknown. The Stoics, however, understood that growth comes only through embracing change and overcoming fear. Fear of change keeps us stuck in the same place, afraid to take risks and move forward. But remember, growth only happens when we challenge ourselves. By taking action, even when it feels uncomfortable, we allow ourselves to grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever life throws our way. Part 3. Breaking free from fear and negative habits. 6. The fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown is a powerful force that keeps many of us paralyzed. We fear the future, we fear the risks, and we often avoid change because we cannot predict the outcome. But Stoic philosophy teaches us that the future is uncertain, and the only way to truly live is to embrace uncertainty. Marcus Aurelius said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." This means that the obstacles and uncertainties we face can actually lead us to growth. When we accept the unknown, we free ourselves from the grip of fear. The Stoics did not let the fear of the future govern their lives. They understood that by focusing only on what was in their control, their own actions and responses, they could find peace in the midst of chaos. Instead of fearing the unknown, see it as an opportunity to evolve. Take action despite the uncertainty, because in doing so, you will begin to shape your own future. The Stoics did not wait for perfect circumstances. They made the most of whatever situation they found themselves in. 7. Emotional reactivity and impulsiveness. Another element that the Stoics encouraged us to eliminate is emotional reactivity. It's easy to get caught up in our emotions, especially when we feel attacked or overwhelmed. But Stoic philosophers believed that true strength lies in emotional control. Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoics, taught that we should not be ruled by our emotions, but rather should strive to master them. When we react impulsively to situations, we often say or do things that we later regret. The Stoic approach to emotional reactivity is to pause and reflect before responding. Instead of immediately reacting, take a moment to breathe, assess the situation, and then decide how to respond in a way that aligns with your values. By practicing this emotional discipline, we become less swayed by external circumstances and more capable of responding with clarity and purpose. Stoicism teaches us to detach our peace of mind from the whims of the world. 8. the desire for external validation. How often do we find ourselves seeking approval from others? Whether it's through social media likes, compliments, or praise, many of us find our sense of self-worth tied to how others perceive us. But Stoicism teaches us that true worth comes from within. The Stoics emphasized the importance of focusing on our internal values rather than external validation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." If you continuously seek approval from others, you will always be at the mercy of their opinions, which can fluctuate. Instead, cultivate self-acceptance. Stop chasing external validation and start validating yourself based on your actions, your integrity, and your character. The Stoics believed that living in accordance with virtue and wisdom was the ultimate source of fulfillment, not the opinions of others. 9. Overthinking and mental overload. How many times do we find ourselves lost in a loop of overthinking? We analyze every detail, worry about things that may never happen, and fill our minds with mental clutter. This constant mental overload leaves us drained and distracted from what truly matters. In Stoicism, one of the key principles is to focus on the present moment. We can't change the past, and the future is uncertain, so the only time we can act is in the present. Overthinking prevents us from being present. It keeps us trapped in an endless cycle of doubt, fear, and indecision. Seneca wisely said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is a reminder that the majority of our fears and anxieties are often products of our own minds. By practicing mindfulness and focusing on what is happening right now, we can clear mental clutter and make better, more intentional decisions. 10. Attachment to material wealth. In today's society, there is a constant push to acquire more wealth, more possessions, and more status. But the Stoics saw material wealth as something that could easily distract us from our true purpose. Wealth, they argued, is not the key to happiness or peace. Epictetus emphasized that true freedom comes from detaching ourselves from material possessions. While it's not wrong to enjoy the comforts of life, we should not become attached to. The Stoics believed that if our happiness is dependent on external things, then we are never truly free. Our possessions and wealth can be taken away at any moment, but our inner peace can never be stripped away unless we allow it. By detaching ourselves from the pursuit of material wealth, we free ourselves from the never-ending cycle of wanting more. We learn to appreciate the simple things and find contentment in what we already have. This detachment leads to a life of greater tranquility and focus on what truly matters. Part 4. Living with virtue and purpose. 11. The distraction of other people's expectations. Many of us live our lives based on the expectations of others, parents, friends, society, or even our workplaces. This constant pressure to conform can lead us away from our true desires and values. Stoicism teaches us to stop living according to others' standards and instead live according to our own principles. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The key to a fulfilling life is not trying to meet everyone else's expectations, but living in alignment with our own values. Stoics believed that we should live authentically, and that meant not bowing to the pressure of other people's opinions or standards. By focusing on our own goals and inner compass, we regain control of our lives. We stop seeking permission to live our truth and start creating a life that reflects who we truly are. 12. The obsession with perfection. Perfectionism is a trap that holds many people back. We want everything to be flawless, from our work to our appearance. And when things don't go according to plan, we often feel discouraged. But Stoicism teaches us that perfection is an illusion, and striving for it can prevent us from ever taking action. Seneca wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Instead of focusing on making everything perfect, focus on progress. Small, consistent improvements will bring more lasting fulfillment than chasing an unattainable ideal. 13. The fear of failure. Many people fear failure so much that they avoid taking risks altogether. But Stoicism teaches us to embrace failure as a natural part of life. Failure is not a reflection of our worth, but an opportunity to learn and grow. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Failure is not something to be feared, but rather something to be embraced as a stepping stone towards success. The Stoics believed that each failure is an opportunity to practice resilience and learn from our mistakes. Part 5. Reaching inner freedom and mastery. 14. The need for constant control. In life, it's easy to believe that we need to control everything around us. From the outcomes of our efforts to the actions of others, the desire for control can consume us. But Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control external events, only our reactions to them. Epictetus famously said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." The more we try to control what is beyond our reach, the more we exhaust ourselves and create unnecessary tension in our lives. The Stoics understood that true freedom comes from accepting what we cannot change and focusing on how we can control our own actions, thoughts, and emotions. By letting go of the need to control everything, we gain the peace that comes with knowing that we are only responsible for ourselves. This shift in mindset allows us to feel empowered and focused without getting caught in the chaos of trying to shape every aspect of our world. 15. The fear of being alone. The final habit to eliminate is the fear of being alone. It's natural to want companionship, but many people fear solitude because it forces them to confront their own thoughts and feelings. However, true inner peace and strength come from learning to be comfortable with ourselves. The Stoics, including Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, emphasized the importance of self-reflection and solitude. They understood that spending time alone allows us to better understand our minds, clarify our values, and strengthen our resolve. In fact, solitude is often where we find our most profound insights. When we can be content in our own company, we stop seeking validation or approval from others to feel whole. Instead, we cultivate self-reliance and a deep sense of peace that comes from knowing who we are, independent of external influences. Solitude, in this sense, is not loneliness, but a gateway to freedom. The quiet revolution of Stoicism. As we've explored these 15 things to eliminate from our lives, it's important to remember that the Stoic path is not about radical outward change, but about cultivating peace and mastery within. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom is found not in the pursuit of wealth, success, or approval, but in the way we live and respond to the world around us. By eliminating the distractions, fears, and unhealthy attachments that keep us stuck in patterns of stress and self-doubt, we open the door to a life of true fulfillment. The Stoics understood that the world is often outside our control, but our ability to choose how we respond is where our real power lies. So, take these teachings with you. Begin today, not tomorrow. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Let go of the masks, release the fear of failure, and embrace the simplicity of living authentically. Your true self is waiting to emerge, and the quiet revolution begins within you. In the words of Epictetus, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control.